News 46 is brought to you in part by...
Are you a 3 everyday mom? A significant number of children and adolescents fall short of the calcium they need. Researchers suggest consuming just 3 servings every day of milk, cheese, or yogurt to help reduce body weight and body fat. Milk contributes the most calcium and protein per 100 calories and per penny, making milk a nutrient-rich and cost-effective component for meals. Don't compromise your family's calcium intake, decrease their risk of fracture, and build lifelong healthy habits. Become a 3 everyday mom today. It's easy as 1, 2, 3.
The name of my film is In Silence. The story is based on the confrontation of a son to his father after his sister has committed suicide, and he discovers in her poetry that she was sexually abused by him. And it's how he deals with it.
And this is in the drama category?
Yes, it's in the drama category. It's screened last night.
And how long is this?
It runs 13 minutes.
Tell me about how it's doing right now at the film festivals.
This is the 3rd festival that we screened in. The next one up is July 28th at Manhattan Film Festival. We're going to New York, which is very exciting because that'll be a much bigger audience, I really hope. This was a nice audience. We've had a very good time. Green Bay Film Festival is where it premiered. We had a really good response because the film isn't just about... We do a Q&A, and most Q&As are about the filmmaking process and the story and all that stuff. Mine is more about raising the awareness that this problem touches more people than people want to admit. That's why it's called In Silence, actually the name of the poem that's in the middle of the film, that it's about don't keep it silent, because that's what happened to the girl in the film. She kept it silent, ended up killing herself, instead of talking about it. We actually closed the movie with a PSA from RAINN, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, which is doing a whole new campaign to raise awareness, and it talks about little kids saying, I can say no. So it's kind of a just say no thing. So the Q&As are usually much more about that, which are sometimes difficult for me to go through, because it is based on my sister came and told me this when I was 29 years old.
Oh, wow. So you actually went through this?
Yes. It was but I had a different, of course, I had to figure out how do I deal with this issue? How do I confront my father? What are the relationship changes? But by moving it to a young man with only one sister and he loses her, raises the stakes. As opposed to what I had living 29 years old. I'm living in Los Angeles already. I only see everybody once a year. So I had to raise the stakes to really make the story stronger. But it is the idea of what do you do with this information, because it's the same path I had to take.
I have to ask you, how's your sister doing now?
Oh, she's doing fine. Well, as fine as she can. It still affects her. And that's the problem with this type of abuse is I believe, and I sometimes say this like I don't put I believe in front of it and people think it's truth. Because it happens at too young an age, they don't even know what's really happening. They don't understand and then they get old enough to understand, but they're broken, and you can't patch over that. So almost everybody I've met or heard these stories, and people keep telling. 3 different people came up to me last night to tell me that they have been touched by it. So, and that's the thing, it's to get people to talk about it and say you have to talk about it. Don't hide it. Expose the abusers. Talk about it. Try to prevent it from happening again. Because my father also was abused.
So what's your sister think about this film?
Well, when she finally watched it, she said it punched her in the gut. But she was very happy because she feels it's a gift to her. And in fact, she inspired it, and that's why I say it was inspired by this, is because she wanted to talk about it finally. She held it in, trying to keep this beautiful picture of what our happy family was, and said, no, this is her harming me, and came out. And she talks to everybody anytime, her 2 children, and that's what finally got it. She has a son and a daughter. Yeah. And I went, oh, there's my model. Yeah. And so they talk about it, and it's the idea that keeping it bottled up doesn't help anybody. Yeah. It just hurts. Yeah. So talking about it, as painful as it can be, it's more cathartic.